Good job, Latour. I told you. I have to write out.
Really? You just gonna step on my foot? Are you kidding me?
Hello, baby girl.
You bad. Tell the people how bad you are.
Hey, Ivy, she said, no, let me get my love in it. Let me get my love in it.
She's so cute.
She's spoiled.
You're supposed to be working. This is what happens before the podcast.
Your daddy.
And she just happy. Look at that.
Yeah.
I got some stragglers. All right. I don't know what I'm doing. How about you?
You do it all the time. Why is it you don't know what you're doing?
I don't be knowing what I'm doing. I just cut. I don't have training.
Well, you must have trusted yourself, and sometimes you've been doing it for how long yourself?
Well, after those few baldings, when you get them plugs, I was like, oh.
Well, that should give everybody some hope, because guess what? I don't mean you don't always get it right, but you can fix it. They're going to grow back.
It doesn't matter.
So, what are we talking about today, girl?
You said we were talking about peace.
Yes, that's right. Peace, peace, peace. Because the whole first quarter is all about fear. So, what goes hand in hand? Fear is going to happen. But there are those who have been so blessed with peace in the midst of that. So, I wanted to talk about this gift of peace. So, my whole thought about it. Remember that guy that won that competition? Pastor repeats stories a lot when he's preaching, but there's this one he talked about, that competition with the man who won the painting because it was a dove. The storm was going all around, but the dove was back there in like the cove of the waterfall. And the whole thing, reason why he won was because the picture of peace is that trial and tribulation everything is chaos, but you can find that one place that in the midst of it all,
He only won because he drew a dove.
He created this whole storm around the dove. And he showed, so his whole creation that he created showed you what peace really is. It's when in the midst of your chaos, you can still find that place of peace. And he had found this place right behind the waterfall in the crevice of a cave. And there was peace. But I realized it is a gift. So, and I know I was telling everybody when I was on Psalms 119, I really wanted to wax deep. But I was like, we'll save it for the podcast. We know this whole first quarter is about attacking fear, but fears are going to come. It's just a part of reality. But when I got in the midst of this whole thing about peace, we can still have peace in the midst of our fears.
Yes, that's actually what the Bible means when it talks about peace. Is Not the absence of conflict, but the ability to dwell in the midst of the conflict.
Come on. But it gave me a compassion. Today, y'all, my heart is like heavy for my brothers and sisters, especially when you can see the fear in people. But I realized unless they have the power to come in and look at that situation in a different light, they can't get out of it. Okay, what do I mean by that? We was in Bible study with Pastor on Wednesday night. Bust out, he was talking about 2 Corinthians 4, 3 and 4. He was talking about how they were blinded. The people were blinded. And that's when I really began to see how, and then Psalms 119 this morning, when it was talking about comfort, and that's with strength, where he comes in and he says he gives you the ability to come in and re-look at a situation, re-gauge it, and find a way of where you can find purpose, no matter what the situation was. And I was like, I didn't get that in and of myself.
Yeah.
So we need one another. This episode is all about not just peace being there, but how we can play that factor of peace for one another, especially in a season. I might be in fear, but you might be the one who's seeing the optimism that day.
Yeah.
And we have to be in one another. She said, which is rare. But we have to be in one another's lives to do that. And my genius statement, I've learned that from studying my assessment, says that I am passionate about an opportunity to lead the team to a win, and that I'm going to go about it in, it says in a optimistic and aggressive, because I rank 99% in my interactive and 99% in my decisive. So in an optimistic way.
Influential.
It's a gift.
Yeah.
It's a gift.
It is.
And so I begin, it puts something in me that as a creative, I don't get to not create. Okay, I got a couple samples for you guys. There's a lyricist who wrote the word, it is well, the hymn, it is well with my soul.
It is well with my soul. Okay, I quit. Oh, you want me to do the chatting it up, but don't nobody want me to sing the jams.
Well, that's not your gift. Now, you go on in, now, y'all, she naturally flows into the humorous, but singing, I'm going to lead it to, his name is Horatio.
That's a pretty name.
I liked his name. And let me get his last name. I don't want to say it wrong. Hold on, guys.
Is it one of those weird spelled names?
No, it's,
Jenkins?
no, Spafford. Horatio, Spafford. Spafford. So he wrote it, but I was like, this man had to have peace. It says it was during the Great Chicago Fires, your hometown. That's history for you. That had happened and ruined. He was a lawyer, so it had ruined his finances, and he had lost his son. Okay. Then some business things came, so he sent his family ahead of him. His wife and his 4 daughters were out at sea, and their ships collided with another ship.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot.
So now he's lost 4 daughters, and he has to go and meet with his grieving wife. And his son. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. But you can create the words so beautifully to "it is well." That's a gift. That's a gift. That God will come in there and take your mind and it says the strength to re-grasp the situation and exert effort for the situation to take a different course of purpose and action. He turned it into that whole tragedy. He turned it into a different purpose. Do you know how many churches still today, how many hymns, that particular hymn book, that hymn is in how many books in different churches? Yeah. It unites us all. It's in the black church, the white church. You get what I'm saying? I can take that song pretty much everywhere and people know it because it brings comfort and peace. And I was just like, he didn't stop creating.
Yeah.
He allowed God to continue to use him, where the next man who might not have, maybe he doesn't have a measurement that says that that's my natural gifting. I didn't study to become an influencer. I tested that way. It measures me that way because God created me that way. Mm-hmm. So I cannot, today I came here so wanting to love my brothers and sisters today by really wanting to encourage all creatives. He did it with song. Yeah. God's given, I get to do it through writing, Christian fiction. You do it. I watched you, the shoe that this little boy, y'all got to go look at Coco Melon. She did the baby's birthday jacket, the matching shoes. Mm-hmm. It was so cute, but it was a memory. You capture commemorative moments.
Yes.
For people. We can't stop bringing comfort to the next person. We are elements of peace, and we're so needed. It just made me say, we have to, and God made us all different. That's why we have to team up. And I was just like, I'm passionate about taking the team to the win. Even this podcast, it was all about, let's share our journey, our writing journey, your artistic journey, on how our minds are being renewed. I don't know. It got to me. My calling became more clear in finding that out.
Really?
It really did.
So what's your call? Like what was the clarity?
I can't stop. People don't realize that I really, 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 there's things in the back of my head that say, you're not good enough. Because I've really been working at this. It was funny because my agent is getting ready to she just resent my book out again. It's gotten so many rejections. I'm just like, maybe I need to do something else. Even though I'm not voicing that out loud. Yeah. Those thoughts come. Those are just fears that pop up, you know? And so it was like God says, I think people feel like the encouragement needs to only come once. It needs to keep coming. So that, because I've noticed what it'll do. I'm still writing, but I write slower. I don't turn stuff in. I say, I got to keep correcting.
Yeah. Oh, I do that. Not with writing, but with the stuff that I do.
And so I'm like, who did I miss by delaying?
Yeah.
If he made us all different, I'm just like, if the man wouldn't have written the hymn or put it out years even later, and I need it now. Mm-hmm. So it encouraged me to say, to encourage me to move my pace. Yeah. It encourages movement. I try to find things that keep the momentum going. And that's what I mean by encourages my calling.
Okay. I remember when I did that painting and the hands was, why are you laughing?
That ain't funny, but you was so told bad. You was so bad because that client was, she didn't even tell you directly. She told somebody else she didn't like her hands.
And so it was just like, it was hard for me to go back to paint. And I was like, maybe painting ain't my thing, you know, because the draw was lit. It was on point. But then it was just like, and I started over literally like 10 to 20 times. And so I had to stop starting over because the acrylic got so thick. And at the time, I didn't know about paint like I know about paint now. And so what I should have done was utilized an oil paint, because oil paints take days to dry, whereas acrylics dry within a couple of minutes. And so it was like this thick from the canvas, and you start seeing the groove. And I was like, I can't start over no more. But then I had to come to the point where I was at peace with what was happening, and was like, you not good. you just not good. That's not what you're good at right now. So do what you can do. And they know that you just started because you've talked to them about it, and go on from there. But I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I was down for like 3 weeks and I didn't want to paint nothing else. I didn't want to expand in any shape, form, or fashion. And I had really just given up. I went and got a job, like
you did. That's right.
I was like, this ain't me. This ain't what I'm supposed to be doing. But I I don't remember. I was sitting at my job actually. And at the time, I don't remember what I was doing that brought me back to the fact that this is what it is that God has gifted you to do.
Come on.
Like, you're not going to get it overnight. It's something that you got to work at. You got to practice. Like, you literally just started painting like 3 months prior to that. So what made you feel like that you could go get a big 48 by 36 canvas and do this? You're not Rembrandt. And even he had been doing it for years. So I do have a natural talent. But what I had to learn is that even with a natural talent, now it's time for you to develop skill. And that's one of those, I believe I found peace when I was just like, it's my natural talent. The more I do it, the better I'll get naturally. So if you actually start setting aside time to get that done and stop fearing rejection, then you'll be pretty good. And I even did a shoe for my auntie. And it was a commemorative piece, and it was a passion piece for me because it had, my grandmother had 12, well, technically she had 11 out of the womb kids. And she had at the time, anyway, 7 of them were gone. And so I was able to put them all on these 2 pairs of Converse. And I started at the beginning because, passion projects free. So you got to get your money projects done first. And so it took me about 3 to 6 months to finish the shoes. And I had them done in time for Mother's Day, but it was just like I had grown a lot over that period of time. And so you could tell on one shoe, they look like stick figures. And then the other shoe looked like real humans. And so not really, it was a drastic difference. But I say all that to say, I think that fear comes in the midst of everything people are doing. I remember reading about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And when I was younger, he was just one of those people that I really loved and wanted to be like, for the simple fact of what made him say, I want to do this. And like, people were getting killed, but he still stepped up, and he was in his 30s. And so it was just like always phenomenal to me. Anyway, I remember like getting out of high school, because in high school they had you reading on the 6th grade level anyway. Getting into college and actually reading the truth about this man, not just from other people's perspectives, but not just from outside perspectives, but his family. And they were like, people never talked about his anxiety. They never talked about the stress and the mental battles that he had going through all the stuff. He was afraid. He was terrified of some of the stuff that he was going to have to deal with, especially when they burnt his house down and his family was in there. And just going through like, am I called to do this? Should I be doing it? Are people going to change? And all that other good stuff, if he could see us now. So it was just like, I think everybody deals with that I don't know, but like you said, that peace, my peace, because I cry out to my Heavenly Father.
Come on.
Like, that is number one for me. And I go into a depression, seem like, and I be crying all night. And I know the Lord be like, Latisse, I really want you to go to bed. Get up and go to bed. And because I'm just sitting there crying. But when I get up in the mornings, it's like a renewed mindset, or I'm reading the word and he's like, oh, okay, this is why you have to keep doing what you're doing. And it came from Exodus, when I think I was telling you guys about that in the first episode. And he was just telling them, this is how the temple is going to be set up. These are the people that I've gifted to do it. I'm going to give them the skill. But when I went in and learned what skill meant, I thought that maybe he was just like, bam. And then they had this ability to do what it is they needed to do. But it was over time that they were given this skill. It was continual practice, and they just had the mindset to bring certain things back together.
I love what you said. First of all, I heard growth mindset when you said yet. I'm not good yet. Then you went in there and you measured. You went and found what did you say? I believed one thing, which you believed a lie. The temple was just automatically set up. But when you went and done your research, what? No, there's historical proof that these people took time to learn a skill. So if there's any takeaway today, I want people to understand with fear typically lies with a lie and unbelief.
Yeah.
That's where fear is. How are we going to come in there and bring this peace? Because to me, once you drive out fear, then peace can set in.
Yes.
I'm not going to be here always.
Yeah.
You went and found examples of true people in historical record that they were able to overcome their fears by what? Getting better, getting knowledge, getting skilled in what they did to keep on. You even said you quit and went and got a job.
Yeah.
Don't mean we ain't going to quit along the way, but you came back.
I had to. It was just pulling me.
Come on. Now, that's peace because that was knowing that, guess what? I know I can't stay here. I've got to return
Yes.
to what I was called to do.
Yep.
Wow. What if those people hadn't done those things in history? What if they hadn't pressed through to give you a footprint?
Yes.
What a testimony. So I think a lot of us are in a yet stage. Ooh, that's our timer.
It is our timer.
Well, they better take that and run with it.
Sure.
Bye, guys. See you later.
We need an outro.
What's an outro?
Like an intro. Maybe we should take that and run with it.
I thought you was going to create us one.